Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, January 10th, and we are in the studio. A little inspiration struck this morning, so we got the keyboard out, we got Ableton open, and we're going for it. Today is going to be a good day. We are doing a big studio clean. Also, Sunday FUNDAY coming right up. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday FUNDAY. Here we go. Level 2. Unit 2. We're gonna make this short and sweet because we gotta get this studio cleaned up. Unit 2, oscillators and wave shapes, principles of digital audio. Okay, Ableton project checkpoint 2. To pass this Ableton Live checkpoint, you need to open a new Ableton Live project and follow the steps below very carefully. This checkpoint is a test of what you've learned about Ableton so far. Each step is worth 5 points. All right, carrying on to the left, studio techniques, monitor path, playback, and DA principles. So then studio techniques, signal flow, DAW channel strips, digital conversion, bit depth, and sample rate, and then a video setting up your DAW's bit and sample rates, and then class notes for studio techniques, followed by a review set, and then finally ending with your dream studio discussion. All right, then we move back into synthesis, which I am especially excited for. Understanding oscillators, fundamental components of subtractive synthesis, oscillators, and the waveforms they generate. Here are the synthesis lessons: sine wave, square wave, sawtooth wave, triangle wave, and pulse wave, followed by the class notes, and then ending Unit 2, as usual, with a keys playing assignment called Stir It Up. Nice. Okay, bit of a smaller unit, but we do have that big Ableton review to start everything off. Like I said, we really got to get this place cleaned up, so a nice, short, and sweet Sunday FUNDAY. I love doing these Sunday FUNDAYs. Prepares me for the week and makes me aware of what is to come. Let's get the studio cleaned up. Take a look around at the studio. So we have a really big assignment, the Ableton Checkpoint 2, where we are reviewing everything we've learned about Ableton Live. I'm actually going to wait till closer to mid-end a week to do that assignment just because it's got a lot of steps, and yeah, I'm just feeling like that ain't a Monday morning project. So we're going to jump into the studio techniques lessons and continue learning about gear and about different recording equipment and things like that. It's Monday. Let's freaking kill it this week. Welcome back to another episode of Mental Health Mondays. This Mental Health Monday, I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go out on a limb to say that the number one reason why people don't follow through with their New Year's resolution is because they actually don't care about the goals that they're trying to set. And it's probably some societal pressure, obviously the biggest one being going to the gym, that you need to look a certain way, to feel a certain way, and it just isn't true. People fail because they're not passionate about their goals. And that brings me to the next point. And I've said this probably about 10 different times, and that is to go and do the thing that you want to do. Go and do the thing. You know what the thing is. You've been thinking about the thing for months, if not years, but for whatever reason, you stopped yourself. A lot of the times, there's a little voice inside your head going, you can't do this. You are not good enough. It's all a lie. And let me tell you, that voice was probably somebody else's voice, probably an adult in your life growing up. Somebody planted that little voice inside your head. And I hope that this channel shows the evidence to taking the steps necessary to go for your dreams. I've shared a few times in these videos some of my story of how I have achieved certain things. And it was all by taking one small step at a time. And one thing always opens the door to the next, and it always opens a door that you never thought possible. Trust me. Here is the story of how I got the collaboration with Paul van Dyk. Okay, so it all starts with this book called The Third Door. Okay, so this book is all about seeking opportunity, and the author, Alex Banayan, he wanted to know the story of some of the world's most successful people, but he wanted to know the story before the story that everybody knows about these people. He wanted to know, how did the stars align? How did the dots connect for you to start your company, for you to get to where you are now? And so he made it his mission to basically go from cold emailing random emails he found on the internet to interviewing people like Bill Gates, Maya Angelou, Quincy Jones, and Lady Gaga. So he uses this nightclub analogy, and basically it goes a little something like, 99% of people are gonna line up at the front door. And a lot of them ain't getting in. Then you got the second door is for VIPs. These are people who are born into success and they got the money, they got everything. They're going right in. And then you got the leftover 1%. There's somebody in this club that they need to see, they need to talk to, they need to get their music to, whatever the case is, and they are gonna get in this club no matter what. They're gonna go around back. They're gonna see one of the bartenders smoking. They're gonna hit him up. They're gonna chat with him. They're gonna make friends. And then that guy's gonna be like, hey man, well, what are you doing? Do you want to come in? And then boom, you're gonna get in. They're gonna see a cracked window in the kitchen in the back, and they're just gonna slide it open, and they're getting in this club no matter what it takes. That's the analogy he uses in this book. Okay. I feel like this ties in to this resolution thing because, if you're not passionate about your goals and your dreams and what you're trying to set out to do, you're not going to seek these opportunities. You're just you're gonna always fall flat on your face. There's no longevity, there's no inner power in trying to create a resolution or a goal or an intention without passion. How does this relate back to the Paul van Dyk collaboration? I read this book and I was starting to think of ways I could incorporate trying to create opportunities for myself. And so here we go, into the Paul van Dyk story. This is how I got the collab. Here I am, I'm sending emails to Paul van Dyk's label, Vandit Records. And so I got about 3 tracks and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna fire off all 3 of these tracks and we'll see what happens, right? Meanwhile, there's an A&R of the label who I had been kind of unintentionally, so there's kind of the magic behind the scenes, I had really been admiring. She had just started a duo with a vocalist and her as the producer. Okay, so fast forward about a week later, I'm like, oh my god, I should send this other track. And I'm not even really paying attention, I didn't get to the demo email, fire it off. And then all of a sudden I'm looking back and right on the screen it goes basically there's this disclaimer going, we receive a lot of music, so if you spam send us music, if you keep sending us the same track over and over, basically we're gonna blacklist you, is how I kind of interpret it. And it turns out one of the tracks of the 3 that I had sent previously was the same track I had just sent. So I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna be blacklisted from this label. It's one of my goals to release on this label. So I'm like, oh my god. But the bell goes off. I had been connecting with Suzanne. I don't know if I said this, but it turns out she is one of the A&Rs for Vandit Records. So sure enough, I hit her up. I say, hey, listen, this situation happened. I'm not sure if it's going to be a big deal, but I just don't want to get blacklisted. She just goes, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'll make sure it gets passed on. And so in a way, because I had been interested in what she's doing as a duo, I created a genuine connection that wasn't just about please listen to my track, please listen to my track. Here's where it gets absolutely crazy. And this is what I mean by being passionate about something, pursuing it, and reading a book about opportunities that kind of had my head thinking a little bit outside the box. Sure enough, she passes that on to Paul van Dyk's manager, who gets back to me, says, yeah, okay, we're gonna get these songs up to him, but you know what, it's probably gonna take 8+ weeks. This guy is busy. And so I'm like, you know what, I was gonna self-release 1 or 2 of these tracks anyways, so you know what, I'll just wait. 1 week later. Here's the email. Paul van Dyk would like to sign this track as a collaboration on his upcoming album. Woo! The very original track was very stripped back. It was this kind of even slower tempo version, and so he wanted to take that, he wanted to kind of improve upon the melody a bit and kind of turn it into a more classic, uplifting Paul van Dyk sound, because as soon as he heard it, he had this vision that just fell perfectly in line with his new album. That's what I'm talking about. Signing a track to a big record label like Paul van Dyk's. That was my goal. I was also writing in my manifestation planner, I wanted to collab with a top artist. And I had a little list. By seeking opportunity about something that I'm passionate about, by writing my goal down, I accomplished it. This is what I'm saying is, you never know what can come of just taking that step, just going for it. For me, just submitting those songs, getting them listened to, connecting with that other person who passed them along, gained me an opportunity far beyond what I could have ever imagined in that scenario. Probably the longest Mental Health Monday ever, but I really wanted to share that story with you. I really wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions, and I hope that you got something out of that you can now take and try and incorporate into the goals that you've set for yourself for this year and beyond. Highly recommend The Third Door by Alex Banayan. And that is it for Mental Health Monday today.
Whatever's calling to your heart today, whether it's just waking up early, excited and wanting to show up for yourself. Maybe it's to learn something new about yourself. Maybe you're going through something a little bit deeper that allows you to work through this on your mat.
All zenned out. Yoga was good. I'm actually feeling like more tired now than I was going in. So yeah, yesterday we went through most of Unit 2. Went through the synthesis classes, did some little experimentation of my own. You might have seen that on my Instagram. If you want to check that out, it's at We Feel Elated. Today's a bigger day. So now we have yoga at 8, then we have therapy at 11, and then our mentor session at 1. We are going to get some breakfast, have a coffee, and just kind of enjoy this relaxing atmosphere we've created. Today, I'm finally going to arrange one of the Whip Wednesday tracks that I've been working on. Man, I gotta get a new chair. This freaking thing's annoying. It is Wednesday, January 13th. We are ready to work on our track, and then coming right up is Whip Wednesday. Today, we got a couple things going on, just errands to run, so we'll be stepping out in and out of the studio to do that. All right, well, you know what? We got to get to work, so let's go. All right, welcome back to another episode of Whip Wednesdays. Whip Wednesdays is where I show you the tracks I'm working on in order to stay accountable and to show you how I progress with my music as I go through the online program at Icon Collective. I have accomplished a basic arrangement, and so something I'm working on with my mentor is actually having the framework of my tracks done pretty well as soon as I get down the main ideas. Keep in mind, there's no build-ups, there's not a lot of effects going on, so it is going to sound a bit plain, but you know, those kinds of things come in the next phase. Here we go. Now, I should probably do a little more with that section. That's kind of a harsh just cut. So this eventually builds up, and then I'm going to have it go straight into the drop. So we have this shorter breakdown to start. Kind of a super basic EDM song structure. So that drops right back into another breakdown, which I think I mentioned. I do plan on having a vocalist work on this one. And then this breakdown eventually goes into the big chord, power synth, power saw section. And on it goes. And then obviously I'm going to bring back that super awesome bassy intro and do a little something different with it for the outro of the song. I'm really liking where this is going. I definitely still need to work on the overall arrangement, but having this skeleton arrangement done, I feel like it gives the track kind of a sense of completion, where it's like the structure is there, everything's in place. Now I just need to take the next steps necessary to fully produce out the track.